Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicky and I'm Sew&Snip. Welcome to my sewing space. It seems a while since I've last done a vlog. I think it's probably a couple of weeks, but I haven't been feeling great, so I'm a bit behind with all sharing my plans and actually for doing much sewing as well. But I thought I'd pop on today to do a quick Friday sews. Friday sews is an idea come up with by Jen today in Jen's sewing room. Jen thought it would be a good idea to bring the sewing community together. So to tell you a bit about what I've been up to and what my plans are. So as I said, I haven't been feeling great the last couple of weeks, so haven't really been doing a lot. But that has meant that I've made myself sit down and finish my knitting. So as you can see, I've got on my finished Whitmoor sweater that I shared before. The Whitmoor is by Amy Lowden. So see there, it's normally a long sleeve jumper with that's the balloon sleeves, but they also do a straight sleeve. It was my first pattern I got for knitting in the round, so this is my second attempt at it. And as this is a cotton yarn, I thought I would leave it short sleeve, which would be perfect for the weather changing now. If you saw my previous vlog when I mentioned this jumper, or you follow me on Instagram, you remember that I said that the wool had faded. Now it was the same dye lot on the button bands, but when I was knitting the first part of this on the yoke, I was on holiday, so sat in the sun. So I don't know whether it's faded from the sun or whether there was a difference in the colour dyes, but you can just see very slightly there's a bit of a line. It doesn't bother me. A couple of people have said it looks like it's part of the design. When I blocked this and it was damp, the colour did run a bit, so it could be that this will fade down to match it, but I'm quite happy with it. It feels really comfortable, really soft. And I'm loving this pattern. The only other difference I made on this one is I didn't do the rib around the neck for so many rows, so it's a little bit lower. And I think that's worked well. So yes, sitting around, I did at least finish that one. Sorry if I keep moving bits of paper, but I've got everything here that I want to show you. So the only sewing that I've been doing, I did finish off my apron. I think I talked about that before. It's the Jazzy Rose apron from Sew&Snip. So it's got a big pocket on the front and the wrap over back. And this is a canvas from Minerva, one of their exclusive fabrics. So I've made that as my latest ambassador make. I haven't done the write-up of that yet, but when I do, I'll share it on my Instagram as well, so you can read about it. Other sewing that I've been doing, as I said, there hasn't been a huge amount, but I decided, because I wanted to sit down, I didn't want to be crawling around cutting out patterns. I thought I'd do something small that I could sit at the table. So I finally got around to cutting out and making my divide and go. Now, I bought this pattern a while back from, I forgot what they're called now, Studio 77, with the plan that I needed a caddy. I wanted to make it because I do plan to try and get to some social sewing events this year. So I thought, ideal, well, I just want to sit down and do something I can cut out at the table. I'll make that one. So I've altered from the pattern a bit myself. As you can see there, it's got dividers in the middle, hence being called divide and go. And those dividers are attached by Velcro, so you can take them back out. And then it's got expanding pockets on the outside. Well, I decided to make it in this lovely sort of glittery fake leather vinyl. This was a fabric and obviously the webbing, the little stars on, that came in one of the bag makers boxes from Studio 77 a couple of months ago. So I thought that was really nice. I'd use that. That was going to be a bit different. and then teamed it with nice bright pink for the lining, and on the cotton fabric here it's sort of a Frida Kahlo design, and as you'll see, hasn't got any dividers in it. What happened was, in the pattern they've got these expanding pockets on the sides, so I did the pockets on the ends as it showed, put these nice little zipper pulls on it to match the webbing, this little label. So I made the pockets to go on the side, and when I clipped them to the side I realised it was going to cover up most of this lovely fabric here. So instead of putting them on the inside, I've put them, no, instead of putting them on the outside, I've put them on the inside. So I've got 4 pockets here that I can put all my bits and pieces in. And so then I didn't bother with the velcroed in dividing strips, because I thought I could always make another one with the dividers. But I thought that'd be ideal still to put my sewing stuff in if we go anywhere. And actually, while I've been sat at the sewing desk starting to sort of plan things, I've been using it to stand my patterns in while I'm thinking about them. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Got that cotton on the base. As I said, the webbing and the zip pulls, oh, and the zipper, it's got little stars on that, the zipper tape. That all came from the bag maker's box, and the fabric on the bottom was one I just spotted in the little local fabric shop that just does random selections, and I thought that picked up the colours lovely. So yeah, I was really pleased with that, and it was nice to just sit and do something that was small and easy to deal with. So apart from that, it's mostly planning I've been doing. Now, if you've watched my previous vlogs, you'll know that I've been taking part in the Busy Bee Challenge. So there's 8 of us that are taking part in that this year, and we're down to challenge 3 now. So it's our final challenge. So this is the made to measure. So based on the British Sewing Bee, our challenge is to make something we could wear to a Mediterranean getaway. Ideal, I thought, because we will be going away later in the year, and so I've got so many ideas, but I have sort of narrowed it down. Now, my main idea is to use this fabric. I'm afraid it's a big crease because I've washed it ready but I haven't pressed it yet. I got this earlier in the year from Beyond the Pink Door, and it's really nice, feels great. I think it was a viscose, but I'll put a link to it if she's still got it on her website. And I got this because Andrea was kind enough to donate a prize to, I think it was So Frugal. It's one of the challenges. I won the voucher for Behind the Pink Door, so yeah, that's what I bought. So that is my plan of what I wanted to use. So I'm still planning to use this, as that's my #1 plan if I get time. So I can see a cord set with this one. When it first arrived, I thought a jumpsuit, and I love a jumpsuit, but then they are a bit of a faff, having to take it all off every time you go to the toilet or whatever. So I thought perhaps I'll make a cord set instead that can look like a jumpsuit when it's worn together, but can be worn separately as well. So that's my thoughts, but I keep changing my mind. So I'm thinking, I've made the Saguro Set from the Friday Pattern Company a couple of times. I haven't got a picture of that pattern, but I'll insert a photograph of me wearing one of my previous ones. So I'm thinking definitely the trousers from that, possibly the top. It depends how much fabric I have left, because what I would like to do, because obviously I'd have to lengthen that top too, because it's quite a crop top, lengthen that to be able to tuck it in to make it look like it's a set. But I'm thinking more of a shirt sort of style. I've seen a number of jumpsuits around which are like got a shirt collar opening and then fitted to the trousers. So I'm thinking if I could make a little collared shirt. I did think about the Donny at one point, but then I think I'd like one that actually opens up. So I need to sort of look at patterns for that, because I'm thinking if I had like a button-up shirt with a Saguro pants, I could tuck it in, it would look like a jumpsuit. I could untuck it and have it unbuttoned with a little camisole underneath to look more like a cord set, and I could wear both of them on their own. So that's my first idea for it. My other idea when I started going through my patterns is another Friday pattern company. Let me take that out of the wallet. It's a bit glary. But the Saturday skirt set. So again, I have made this one. I made it in a black and white viscose fabric, and I love it. I like how the fact that you can tie it at the front or wrap it round to get a bit more coverage. It looks nice sort of over the top of something. I've worn the top sort of over a slip dress before. The skirt's really nice and comfortable because it's elasticated at the back. It's got pockets. So yes, that was my second thought. Once I started thinking about what shirt to do, I then thought, oh well, I could do this Saguro pants with this top instead. But then I thought, would I like the skirt instead of the trousers? So it's all decisions. But I haven't got much time with this because the reveal date for our third challenge is the last Wednesday in September. So I've got to get it done by then. My energy levels are starting to come back up, so hopefully I will feel like sewing. But yeah, the thought of laying the fabric out and doing the cutting out at the moment it's not very appealing, but I'm sure I will bounce back to it. So yeah, so that's my second sort of thought. So yeah, definitely if I have the chance to do a co-ord set, it'll be this fabric, but possibly a couple of patterns. If I'm running a lot later with my time and sort of have to do it in a bit quicker, I was thinking this fabric. Doesn't quite say Mediterranean to me quite as much as the green Mediterranean holiday, but it still screams holidays to me, and it's a lovely crepe fabric. It's just got that nice drape. I think this was one of the ones I bought at Lucky Fabrics when I went up to the gathering earlier in the year, and I was thinking of making a wraparound skirt with it, but now I'm thinking that might be quite nice because it's got a nice bit of weight and drape. It might be quite nice as the Sicily Slip dress, which is by Sewing Patterns by Mason. So I bought that pattern a couple of months ago, so I think that could be a possibility. Being bias cut, it needs to have that drape in it, so that would be nice. I haven't made that before, but I can't imagine that'll take too long because it's just the front and the back. Cut the bias with a bit of a cowl and thin straps. But I do also have the Saltwater Slip dress by Friday Pattern Company, which I've made twice before and I really like as well. I've made the short and the long version, and I find they're great because you can layer up with a little top as well. So I think that with a little maybe pink blouse over the top, or the green, or the black. But yeah, so I've got a couple of options. So that's my standby plan. If I don't get time for a co-ord set, then I can go for the dress in this fabric. So that's my plans for the Busy Bee Sewing Challenge. And then there's lots of other challenges about at the moment, and they all sound so wonderful. So it's what do I do and if I'm going to get time for it. So the other one that I am thinking I might take part in is the Precious Fabric. I think the hashtag is Precious Fabric 24, but I will put that in my notes so that you can have a look at it too. That's running throughout September. I'm not quite sure whether you've got to post the picture on the 30th of September or by the 30th of September. I need to check that out. So if there's any possibility that I suddenly get flying along with my Busy Bee project, I might enter this one as well. Because you'll probably have seen this fabric on previous vlogs, because I keep getting it out of my stash, looking at it, thinking I really want to use it, but I'm afraid to use it. It's not that it's particularly expensive, it's just that it's a little special. Chambray, really nice and soft, and got this lovely embroidery along one edge. So yes, so I'll have to cut it across the fabric to make the most of that. But I just really love it, and it's so soft. But yeah, I think I bought it from the Rose and Hubble stand. And the reason it's precious, I've had it a few years ago now. I went to the Sewing Bee Live show that they did. I can't remember how many years ago it is now. It's probably, might well be 5 years ago. I was bought a VIP ticket for it from my stepchildren for my birthday. So it might have been for my 50th birthday. And so I went up there for the day, and my mum gave me some money to buy myself something nice while I was there. And so I bought this fabric. And it's probably because there's a memory behind it that I'm cautious about using it. So I thought this would give me the push. So precious. Maybe I'll go for it. So I'm thinking, I did think about Saltwater Slip for that one. I've got more than enough to do that. But then I thought it might be nice to do something a little bit different. And so I thought maybe the Southport dress again. Let's take it out of there. Now I've made this dress before. If I can find a picture of it, it's probably on my Instagram. If I find a picture of it, I'll put it in. But I've made the longer version, which has got this slit up the front. And I made that in a border print. So the floral section of it was on the skirt, and then the plainer bit for the top. So it's got the button placket down the front. Now I find I don't actually have to undo this to get it on and off. So probably next time I wouldn't bother with making it a working placket. I just sew through it. And then it's got this drawstring waist, which I found was great because at my age I tend to fluctuate with shape. And this was ideal because if I was feeling like it was a bit tight one night, I'd just tie it up a little bit looser. Other nights I could pull it in a bit tighter and give it a bit more shape. But yeah, so I really like that one. And I like the fact that it's the thicker strap on this one and higher at the back, so you can quite happily cover bra straps and things. It looks quite nice with a t-shirt underneath as well. And yeah, the drawstring. I do like the short version as well, but I think for this fabric, I think that looks more sort of a beachy, whereas this felt quite evening-y when I wore it. So that's my thoughts for the chambray. So if I get time by the end of the month, that'll be my plan as well. There is another challenge that I'm looking at as well, which is the Sophisticated 24. I'll put the details of that in my notes as well. I haven't really looked into it yet, but I think that's October that one runs until. So it's making something that you would wear or take to an afternoon tea. So yeah, I need to look into the details of that one, but that's the possibility that may come after these. So yeah, as you can see, because I've been sitting around, I've done lots of planning, just not much doing. But hopefully that'll change. I'm starting to feel a bit more with it today. So hopefully I'll get onto that and come back and share all my finished makes then. Well, thanks for listening. I feel like I've rambled a bit because I seem to be out of practice. But nice to catch up. I hope you have plenty of time to do some sewing. I hope you're well and enjoying the odd bits of sunshine we're having when they do appear. I think autumn has definitely arrived, or at least on its way. So happy sewing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.